Okay, sounds good. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the EOS Hot Sauce, episode number 166. I'm your host, Dan Singjoy. Hope that you're having a wonderful day and you're excited for some really spicy EOS stories this week. Sorry for a little bit of confusion in the beginning. I wasn't sure if I was streaming it, but now we're on a roll. Hope everybody's doing well. The topics that we'll discuss, we'll jump right into it. First, we'll discuss the new EOS on the rise. Lots of exciting developments happening. The EOS conference calendar. The GameFi Hackathon Week 2, Yield Plus going live on this Sunday. The first Antelope Coalition meeting, and lots of exciting news since last week. The announcement of Antelope. Chintai receiving a license from the Monetary Authority of Singapore. EOSIO Swiss Workshop 15. The Pomelo updates and advice to boost your Pomelo Trust bonus, ENF China Twitter space, and EOS Community Events. So the first topic that we'll discuss, the new EOS on the rise. So the EOS community has been celebrating the 1-year anniversary since the launch of the EOS Network Foundation, the ENF, and the new EOS is on the rise in so many exciting ways. The EOS community has been diligently building for 4 years now, over 4 years. As you can see, Lunar Crush featured EOS as the coin of the day and shows lots of exciting metrics in engagement on social media, up double or up triple in many different ways. And it's also being picked up by many other news organizations around the blockchain industry as well, such as Crypto Depth, lots of accounts with lots of followers. So lots of people are learning about EOS, which is great to see. As I mentioned, it's been over 4 years since EOS launched. This was featured in a weekly report recently, and people have been building for a long time in the EOS community and doing amazing work. And then 1 year since the ENF launched, and Eve and the team at the ENF made immense improvements, and Eve also shared a great thread kind of summarizing some of these immense improvements and also sharing why he's more bullish on EOS than ever before, and many others are as well. So you can check out this thread and all the other links in the show notes. And also after 1 year of development, now basically there's a huge amount of positive things that have happened, and there's also an awesome roadmap. So there's a lot of momentum right now, and it looks like there'll be a lot more momentum coming up in the future with all of these developments coming up. So just to highlight a couple of them, last week we featured the launch of Antelope and the announcement of Antelope, and there's also a huge amount more news. This has been a long time coming and great developments, but a huge amount more news that, of course, everybody can follow on the ENF blog, and then throughout the EOS ecosystem. Really, there's so many great new hires and great new developments and things being built and so forth in the EOS ecosystem. So just to provide you an overview of some of the ways that it's on the rise. Also, the ENF seeing exponential growth as an organization, which you can see in their Q2 quarterly report, and large growth in their YouTube channel and Twitter account and so forth. That's also on the blog, where you can find more quarterly reports. And this is an ongoing trend. So we're noticing a lot of the growth this week, but it's been going on for the past year and for longer, where we've all been working. GitHub progress has also been exploding lately. In this graph, you can see like a 10 times increase or so in GitHub development on all the different projects. This week or last week, the Antelope GitHub repository organization was launched with Leap and Dune and the CDT. So all sorts of helpful developments here, many different ways, with lots of additions and commits and all different improvements that are happening to the EOS protocol in the rise in so many ways. And you can also see in the release features article that was recently released for the Leap release, which is coming out on the 21st of September. That's the schedule for it. And then also many features that are being introduced in the new Antelope protocol as well. A great result of all the GitHub progress and all the great developers building. In addition, of course, so many community members not working directly on the protocol, but building apps and building great stuff for the community. I have been working with Pomelo, and an all-time high of 172 grants were approved. And so far, the ENF has provided over $2 million of funding. And of course, you can look at all the amazing grants on Pomelo. So it's great to see all the growth in all the different ways. And of course, that this will be further developed or further improved for all developers with the upcoming developer hub that Rami James is building. And he put out a great video this week about the developer ecosystem and how he is working with the ENF to empower web developers in the EOS ecosystem. There's also a lot of other great conversations this week in the Fireside Chat about the growth and the anniversary of the ENF and the growth of EOS. So during this week's Fireside Chat, Zach Gall shared a really inspiring speech about the anniversary of the ENF and the trajectory. And you can see all the timestamps, of course, in the YouTube video right below. So you can see where Zach talked about it here. And then Eve joined later to wish the ENF a happy birthday and also shared a lot of inspiring thoughts as well. And then Eve also shared a thread, which I showed you earlier, which I recommend checking out to summarize the developments and explain why he's so bullish. So those are good to check out. Also, CoinDesk has been noticing the progress in EOS. And while many people in EOS have been focusing on just some building, a lot of investors have been also seeing what's been happening with EOS. So Coinbase has been noticing, and they wrote an article showing how in the week since Antelope, the EOS price increased by 28%, and they provided some more information here. The EOSB's also put out a tweet about this, and overall, the price of EOS has increased by 50 or more, almost double percent. So it's great to see all sorts of growth in all these different metrics. Taylor Riker also put out a great tweet thread to explain why EOS is surging in the media and in the charts. So a lot of community development as well, where you can check out that thread. And then Kent from EOS San Diego recently shared a really great speech as well at a recent fireside chat where you can check out the clip. And then, of course, yeah, you can check out the roadmap too to learn how EOS will continue to surge and continue to grow and continue to go on the rise to empower builders. So it's really awesome to see. Great work, everybody. Of course, you can learn more at eosnetwork.com, on the Everything EOS YouTube channel, and also on the EOS Nation YouTube channel. We have all the past hot sauce. We've been covering it all. And yeah, feel free to reach out on the Discord too and get in touch to take part in the rise and help the rise. The next topic that we'll discuss, also going along with the rise, it's coming up for the future. In the short-term future, the new EOS and the ENF are about to embark on a global world tour as part of a wider go-to-market strategy for EOS that'll include sponsorships and exhibition booths and keynote speeches, panel discussions, technical workshops, business development, and much more. The ENF is inviting everyone to meet up and look forward to think together or think forward together. You could see all the events here. It's pretty much booked up with September and October and November, with lots of exciting events all across Europe and also in the United Arab Emirates as well, with some really big conferences here, such as the Upbit Developer Conference, which Eve will be joining and the ENF will have team members at soon. Eve also shared a tweet here to summarize, talking about over 20 major conferences to show the world what the new EOS is all about. And yeah, as I was mentioning, Eve is looking forward to visiting South Korea and meeting with members of the EOS community in South Korea, and the new EOS will have a booth at the Upbit Global Conference. Upbit is, of course, one of the largest exchanges in the world, so that's great to see. We featured EOS and the ENF doing a token sponsorship of Token 2049 coming up next month in conjunction with the Grand Prix event. This is going to be sponsored by both ENF and the Trust EVM team. You can read more about that on the May 30th weekly report, which has lots of details. It also has details about the event and also details from Zach, and just generally talking about this new strategy of growing the community with community events and conferences and so forth. So it's really great to see. We also covered it too, and yeah, it's a great strategy that will really help get the word out more and help EOS continue to be on the rise. There's also more articles in the past where you can learn more about how Trust EVM will use a spotlight to feature the most performant EVM in the world, and also to help out with featuring EOS at events. The ENF, we featured this last month or so, partner with EOS Global, which has a bunch of great EOS community members and builders who will be helping to represent at EOS at a lot of great conferences, like such as the Future Blockchain Summit in Dubai. So all these partnerships, you can also learn more in a recent weekly report on the ENF website. And yeah, all these that are upcoming. It's really exciting to see. And then there's also been some past conferences too. So over the past like 3 weeks ago, the ENF team arrived in Toronto and joined the Futurist Conference. They shared some cool pictures with Zach and Eve having fun in front of a cool looking retro car here in Toronto. And they also shared a lot of conversations. Eve had a conversation with Chris Barnes. So it's great to see what's going on here and getting these sneak peeks. There's also more on the Telos Culture YouTube channel. They have some interesting videos. And then you can also hear more on the recent fireside chats. So from August 17th, you can hear several team members who joined speak about the Futures Conference for a while. speak about meeting all the people in the EOS community and the Antelope community and sharing the word and so forth. Also on August 10th, more information. And then also in this week's Fireside Chat, Zach shared a great update or overview rather of the EOS conference calendar and how this coordinates with the ENF anniversary and how this is so helpful for everyone at EOS. If you'll be at any of these events or you'd like to see the EOS community at other events, then feel free to get in touch at the eosnetwork.com and the contact tab, or you can also reach out on Twitter or on Discord and so forth. And yeah, I hope to see you there. It's great to see people meeting up in real life, which hadn't happened so much. There's been a lot of great meetings online, but it's really cool to see people meeting up and lots of spreading about EOS there. So excited for all these events coming up. I'll check the community chat to the live chat now. I see lots of excitement with spicy peppers and rockets and so forth. We're ready to go. Absolutely. Thanks everybody for joining. Veronica and the new legend. The new legend. Maybe I will sing the EOS news here. I think that would be fun. Good idea. Ian Wood and Pablo, great to see you all. And Patrick, go EOS. Absolutely. Andrew and Catherine. Great to see everybody. I see Andrew making jokes about waiting until Bezos goes to the moon and finds it full of antelope. Absolutely. Futures conference is awesome. Great to hear, Daniel. And yeah, it's great that you enjoy hanging with the Antelope fam and Yana and Kevin, everybody. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks for joining us and doing all the great work in the EOS community. Hope that everybody's having a great day. We also have party cracker giveaways as we do as always. So you can check out the .gems account, check out the most recent tweet and spread the sauce, win a party cracker. So when you go to this tweet, you can go to the contest link that's on Bounty Block right there. And then you can read the instructions to learn how it works. Basically, you can connect your EOS wallet and then follow EOS Nation and retweet this tweet from .gems. And then you get entered for a chance to win the party crackers. And you can do it in the next 2 days or so. So check that out and win some cool EOS NFTs. And we'll move on to the next topics now. Go EOS. Absolutely, Spirito. Sounds good. So next topic that we'll discuss today is GameFi Hackathon Week 2. So GameFi Hackathon is in its second week, and there are now 14 participants building awesome games on EOS since last week. Registration is ongoing. It'll be ongoing for the next 2 or 3 weeks, I believe, and all GameFi projects and game developers are encouraged to sign up for the hackathon and build the coolest games you can imagine on Trust EVM, which is, of course, super performant. There's a prize pool of $150,000, and you can check out the link right here to see both more details about the event, and then also you can see lots of the builds or the biddles of games that are being built on Trust EVM for this hackathon. So there's some really cool looking games here. I clicked around a few and see some sports games and some cartoon racing games and stuff like that. You can also click on each and then learn about each one, like this one, Mover, so people can train their body, and a football game that looks fun and has cool graphics and passionate football players, GameFi Fab Welt. So yeah, you can look at all of them to learn much more, but just to give you a preview, it looks like there's some really cool games being built, and I'm excited about this hackathon. Then you can check out the details and learn out how to submit. And there's also an application guide where you can learn all the details about how to participate and win prizes and so forth. Also, this week, the Trust EVM team is holding a GameFi Hackathon quiz. So you can check out their tweet, Trust EVM on Twitter, and then you can also retweet and tag friends to win prizes and so forth. So that seems like a really cool quiz and a cool opportunity to learn more and share more about GameFi on EOS. Of course, you can check out Trust.one to learn more about the Trust EVM and why it's so helpful and performant. There's good documentation and so forth. There's also a blog post that Trust EVM released last week that has lots more information about the hackathon as well as the Trust EVM, a lot of similar information there, but then there's also a full transcript of the Twitter space where Eve and Dr. Yarkin Hu and many team members spoke about as well. So you can listen to that here, and you can also read everything that they spoke about on this blog post, as well as on the recent Everything EOS weekly report. So you can learn more as well about these events too. So there's that. And then in this week, there was also an update from Chris Barnes, who is a Helios Guardian, and he's talking about another hackathon that could be right after the GameFi Hackathon with the Trust EVM. It looks like he's working with the Trust EVM team now with the Helios, and he's been working on this for a while too. So you can check that out in the timestamps here, 53 minutes in the most recent talk, and hear what he had to say about it. It sounds like really exciting, and it sounds like it's going to happen next month, from what I understand. You can also check out the weekly report from July 4th to see a video of Chris talking more about this hackathon, and also some more information. This hackathon has been in development for several months now, maybe 5 or 6 months now. So it's cool to see more details, and they'll be coming soon. Also, of course, you can learn more about the awesome GameFi industry in a bunch of resources. So Eve put out some great tweets about GameFi recently and showing the exponential growth. This was a couple months ago, and this was featured in the weekly reports from July 11th and 19th, I believe, where you can see some articles that Eve wrote and also lots of information about why EOS and Antelope are so well positioned for GameFi. One of the great examples of GameFi and EOS is Upland, which recently voyaged their first city in Europe, which is Porto. And also they're in Brazil now in Rio de Janeiro. So you can check out their new city in Porto and what you can do there and the airport and all the land. There's also been so Upland's been growing rapidly and there's hundreds of thousands of cited players and like a really vibrant ecosystem of community generated content now where people are building things to help and creating content to help new players learn the game. So like one cool thing that I found was UPX Land, which is a data hub for Upland where you can search different properties and look at different statistics and leaderboards and so forth. So it looks like the data analysis and so forth is getting really quite comprehensive for Upland. And then there's also lots of great videos too and YouTube channel. So there's the Upland show that has quite a few subscribers and cool visuals and so forth, where basically they join often and they share tips about how to play Upland, and they also have a podcast that airs often. I listened to a couple of these and it was really interesting as well. So you can explore those. Also another one called Upland Analysis, and lots of interesting. It's great to see the community really rallying around Upland. And yeah, of course, Upland is just one game on EOS. There's many more, and there's many more coming too, especially with this hackathon. But it's a great example of gaming on EOS and GameFi. You can learn more at upland.me. They have great documentation and as well as videos to make it easy to learn. And then also in the Everything EOS Weekly Report from July 4th, you can also learn about partnering with FC Porto, the first soccer club to partner with a major metaverse. So that's really cool to see. And then Eve also put out a great tweet this week showing how Antelope represents over 50% of the GameFi share in the world, and how Wax and EOS are working together for GameFi. So that's really cool. And there's also IBC coming soon too, as Spirito is mentioning. So we'll mention that in a moment. First, we'll talk about the Yield Plus launch. It's imminent. It's going live on Sunday. We featured this last couple weeks, so we won't talk about it too much here, but you can check out the blog post to learn more about it. If you haven't heard, registration's opening, or rewards for TVL is opening on the 28th, and registration is already open. So you could check out the blog post, and then also, sorry, I got my confused on my tabs. You can check out tokenyield.io, and you can look at the beautiful website. So far, there's been 11 protocols with over $20 million in TVL. You can explore this site, and all DApp developers, DeFi DApp developers, are encouraged to go to the join tab and then enter your details for your project and so forth, sign in and register for the Yield Plus rewards. Of course, learn more details on the blog post as well. You can also check out the DeFi dApps tab, check out some pretty comprehensive details in a very clean arrangement, well designed for all the different protocols on EOS that are registered so far, as well as an overview in terms of how much TVL is growing or where the TVL is allocated and so forth. So it's great to see these statistics coming along, and I'm excited to see them grow. This week, Danny from EOS Nation, who has played a pivotal role in the Yield Plus Blue Paper and the Yield Plus smart contracts and so forth, talked about the Yield Plus live and the rewards beta launch this week at an hour and 3 minutes. You can check that out in the YouTube description. And then, of course, you can also check out more recent articles as well from EOS Go, and also in the Everything EOS Weekly Reports from the past couple of weeks. And then also, it's cool to see a lot of DeFi applications are starting to ramp up promotions for yield earning opportunities that will be empowered or enhanced by Yield Plus. So this week, DeFi Blocks put out a tweet about an opportunity to get 20% APY by becoming a market maker for USN and EOS, and also talking about the recent growth in the EOS market value. And then Wombat also put out a tweet for the Wombat token too, that is going on right now as a limited time promotion. So that's cool to see, and starting tomorrow or starting in 2 days. So really excited to see the growth of the EOS DeFi ecosystem. Next topic that we'll talk about is the first Antelope Coalition meeting. So The Antelope Coalition met for the first meeting since the rebranding, and they talked about the rebranding as well as many technical details. Of course, you can check out the blog post to learn more about the announcement that was made last week and learn more about Antelope and all of the great features that it will bring. And also, there's a whole bunch of tweets that we covered in last week's Hot Sauce and so many more this week. The ENF put out a video with the backstory of the brand creation process for Antelope, where you can check out Eve's talking about it from a recent fireside chat. Also, a technical overview of Leap 3.1 and Antelope and so forth from our reg, the engineering head at the ENF, and also, of course, the EOS Leap upgrade meeting, met for the 29th meeting in preparation for the upcoming consensus upgrade. And we spoke about this quite a bit at the recent EOS Fireside Chat as well. An announcement that Eve kind of made at the Fireside Chat is that IBC is coming and is coming quite soon. So recently, I think we covered that the ENF made a deal with the Origin team to bring IBC to EOS. Noam from the Origin team shared an update in Telegram here, which is featured in his tweet where he's talking about some of the details. And yeah, basically, Eve and the ENF and the coalition are aiming to enable IBC on all Antelope chains by October to make one massive interconnected blockchain with each having their own use cases and similarity. So really cool and exciting. You can also check out the video from this week's EOS Leap meeting. And of course, you can check out the notes and GitHub for everything that's going on with all these developments. And then there's a new Antelope Opportunities Telegram channel that was recently opened by David Packham, CEO of Chintai. And so you can join there to advertise your skills and connect with companies and so forth. And of course, you can learn more at antelope.io. And there's also a place where you can get in contact and join the community on Twitter and Telegram and the email list and so forth. So great work, Antelope. Looking forward to the next leaps that we'll all take together. The next topic that we'll discuss today is Pomelo. So donations are closed, but season 3 is not finished just yet. So the Pomelo team is doing deep analysis and making sure that everybody is participating well for the benefit of Pomelo. This season, there was over 170 grants approved and $130,000 in donations raised. Pomelo team put out an article showing how to boost your Pomelo trust bonus today. This can be both for the season 3 and future seasons as well. So it talks about what is a trust bonus and how does it work and why is it important. Basically, you can boost you magnify the value of your donations by up to 50% by linking Port, which is a private way to do your passport, and then also GitHub and Google and Apple and Weibo and Discord and so forth, different ways that you can verify your identity and make sure that funds are going to the most helpful public goods in the EOS ecosystem. Check out that article to learn more. Also, this week on the 27th, tomorrow, there's an airdrop incoming for everybody who owns or for everybody who has an ultra rare moon in your EOS account. You can receive an astronaut token and receive a unique astronaut, which is some really cool and playful and fun art. You can learn more about it in the article from Pomelo about your guide to season 3 NFT experience adventure, where you can learn more. And then also it was discussed a bit by Martin and Stefan during the recent fireside chat. And then also Martin shared a really fun update. And then also there's an upcoming event coming up, a Twitter space with a final countdown and collective unpacking fun where everybody can check out their astronauts. So check that out on the Pomelo Twitter account. And then, yeah, moving on to the next topic now, we will discuss Novacrypto EOSIO Swiss workshop. So Patrick from Novacrypto has been doing these EOSIO Swiss workshops for a long time, and he interviewed 8 community leaders in this workshop that was just released on the 23rd. I participated in a few of these. So first he interviewed, well, just going alphabetical order, he interviewed Daniel Keys from the Pomelo team. And then I had an interview with Patrick where we spoke about the Eden Fractal for the second time, the first update. So that was a great conversation. I also co-hosted an interview with Patrick for Dwayne Felipe, where we talked about the EOS Translation Foundation and the Alien Worlds Fractal. And Patrick discussed the EOS swarms, or the EOSB swarms with Jesse Jaff, and he discussed Zeos with Matthias Schoenbeck, and he discussed Saisan with the CEO Rhett Oudkork-Poole, and then he also discussed WordProof with Sebastian Vanderland. So, and then also he discussed the Albedo proposal and white paper that Das Vedekunas recently put out, and I also co-hosted that as well. So Patrick's been doing a lot of awesome work. Check out these interviews on the Novacrypto Ltd YouTube channel. And yeah, it's awesome to see all these interviews with all these great leaders. He's also been doing this for much longer too. So you can scroll down and see a lot of other great videos from Workshop 14 and so forth. And you can also check out bywire.news for the for more writing about it. And then also all the videos in one spot as well. And then this week, he also released a special HoopFi workshop for the 11th one with Maurice Venegas, the founder of EOS Microloan and EOS and EOS Marketplace. Next topic that we'll discuss today is Chintai. So Chintai received the Capital Markets Service License from the Monetary Authority of Singapore. So this was a really big deal for Chintai. We covered it a bit in the Hot Sauce from a couple months ago, and then also in a weekly report it was featured during May. Where basically Chintai's been working with Singapore for a long time to make this happen. Chintai is a leading financial regulator that helps set the example for all regulations around the world. And so this is really helpful to enable Chintai to enable compliance services with the benefits of Antelope. So people can do things like decentralized fund management and fractionalized real estate and so forth, and all sorts of great ways with Chintai platform that they've been building for a while. You can learn more at chintai.io, and also you can also check out a recent tweet from the EOSBs too, because they're putting out a community swarm for Chintai as well. That seems like it might be coming soon. So way to go, Chintai. And the next topic that we'll discuss today is the ENF China Twitter space. So the ENF Chinese team has been hosting events regularly to share benefits of EOS with Chinese business leaders. You could check out one here. Probably if you don't speak Chinese, you won't be able to understand it much, but you can get a sense of it. Basically, this Twitter space was working with a lot of builders and founders and bloggers about getting yield and gains during bear markets. And there's also been a bunch more that they've been doing that was featured in the April 18th weekly report, where you can learn more about some of these events. And also you can just check out the Twitter account from the ENF EOS Foundation CN to learn more too. And finally, the final topic that we'll discuss today is EOS Community Events. So as always, there's lots of exciting community events happening throughout the week. On Wednesdays, there is the Eden Fractal, and then there's also the EOS Fireside Chat, and then there's also the Helios Futurist series on every other Wednesday, and the Eden Spark meetings on Thursdays. There's also the EOS Sport giveaway show, and of course there's a hot sauce today, and then pretty soon coming up is the Helios blockchain and breakfast, and the Eden Town Halls on most Sundays too. This week the ENF also released a really cool article about pop tokens. So shows how to earn pop tokens by participating in EOS community events, and it shows what is a pop token and how do you earn them by posting in Discord and so forth, and talks about the monthly raffles and how to claim prizes and so forth. And also there's a notice for people who host EOS community events. So you can apply for pop token allocations as well, and you can learn more, and then you can win EOS prizes and NFTs and all sorts of cool stuff. So you can check that out on eosnetwork.com/blog. And then finally, I'll mention the Helios Twitter space coming up in about a half hour. So it's coming up we'll be talking about Yield Plus and Antelope and Eden and much more. I've been participating in these every week, and we've had awesome discussions. So I encourage everybody to join in and join the fun and join the discussions on these Helios Twitter spaces. I'll check the chat one more time too, and I see lots of comments. I'm seeing Patrick talk about the llamas in Upland and Go EOS. Carla sent us Back to the Future. Great stuff, everybody. I love to see all the enthusiasm. And yeah, I hope that everybody's having a fun time out there. Pomelo, it was a great season. Respect to every grant donor. Absolutely agree, Patrick. And yeah, let's go, everybody. We're all going. We're all growing. It's great to see EOS on the rise and the community doing so well. I'm thrilled about all this progress, and I'm stoked to share much more with you on next week's Hot Sauce. Hope to see you at the Twitter Spaces coming soon. And until next week, remember to keep it spicy. Like, subscribe, and share to help grow EOS. And thank you very much, everybody. Have a great weekend. See you next week. And as always, we end it with a big go. Yes! All right. Thanks, everybody. See you later.